All right. Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to say call Halayim Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakal Quitash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who taught me this truth and who rule well in this truth. Shalom to the 144,000 and the hopeful elect of the nation of Israel that is scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Peace and mercy unto you, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You are the true Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks of. You are the true chosen people of the book. All right, so I have this article here. All right, let's get into it. All right, the title reads, Iran unveils new missile capable of striking U.S. targets. Now we know, according to the Holy Scriptures, the Bible, all right, that Iran plays a major part in biblical prophecy. All right, that biblical prophecy is World War III. All right, and them, partaking in the destruction of America, man. All right, with Russia. All right, that's spoken about in Ezekiel. All right, the 38th chapter. All right, and second Esdras, the 15th chapter. All right, so let's just get into this article, man. Let's see what this article is about, man. All right, let's see what's going on. All right, to keep y'all in the know. All right, we got Iran unveils new missile capable of striking U.S. targets. All right, so now they got a new missile. All right. It says video from Iranian state TV on Sunday showed Iran unveiling a new ballistic missile as tensions with the United States intensify over Tehran's nuclear program and regional military activities. All right, so and that's the Lord that's doing it, man, because to fulfill his will, to fulfill his word for prophecy, man. All right, when you read second Esdras, the 15th chapter, it talks about how Iran, which in this chapter Iran is known as the Carmanians. All right, Iran is known as the Carmanians, and it says that the Carmanians shall come forth like a wild boar through the woods, man, and with great power shall they come. Iran's gonna come with that very great power, man. All right, that very great power to team up with Russia, man. All right, to destroy America, and we gonna get that in a second. But we let's read this article, man. All right, it says video from Iranian state TV on Sunday showed Iran unveiling a new ballistic missile as tensions with the United States intensify over Tehran's nuclear program and regional military activities. The footage was aired during an interview with Defense Minister Aziz Nasir-Zadeh, all right, who warned if war is initiated by the U.S. or Israel, Iran will strike their interest, bases and forces wherever they are and whenever necessary. Yeah, Israel's about that work, man. I mean, Iran's about that work, man. All right, they with it, man. All right, and that's the Lord that's giving them that spirit. All right, because it's prophecy, man, that they gonna come through like the wild boar in the woods. With great power shall they come. All right, and join battle with them and shall waste a land of the portion of the Assyrians, which is talking about America. I just quoted second Esdras, the 15th chapter. All right, that's the Lord that's giving them that spirit. All right, that war spirit. All right, if war is this is let's read it again. It says the footage was aired during an interview with Defense Minister Aziz Nasir-Zadeh, all right, who warned if war is initiated by the U.S. or Israel, Iran will strike their interest, bases and forces wherever they are and whenever necessary. Woo! All right, and we're gonna get the scriptures in a second. All right, now we know that the reason why tensions for Iran and Israel's being escalated, all right, because that's the agenda of the elites. All right, that's how they're gonna cause World War III. All right, because you got something that's known as the Albert Pike Mazzini plan. All right, which was called for 3 world wars, which is the a plan that the elites go by. And the third world war was going to take place by causing controversy between the Muslim world and the Judaism world, and that's exactly what you see happening right now. All right, this is the elites that are causing all these tensions and this conflict between Iran and Israel, man. All right, because you got to understand the kings of these nations, they're all just puppets for the wicked elite, man. All right. So it says the announcement followed a recent missile strike. Matter of fact, let me read this again. It says video from Iranian state TV on Sunday showed Iran unveiling a new ballistic missile as tensions with the United States intensify over Tehran's nuclear program and regional military activities. The footage was aired during an interview with Defense Minister Aziz Nasir Zadeh, who warned if war is initiated by the U.S. or Israel, Iran will strike their interest. All right, bases and forces wherever they are and whenever necessary. All right, so now let's get Second Esdras. All right, the book of Second Esdras, which goes into World War III. All right, Second Esdras, the 15th chapter. All right, let's start at verse 28. All right, but hold on, let me get something real quick. I got my bookmarks here. Where we at? Just give me a second. Looking for a certain bookmark. Give me a second. I got it. I just don't see it for some reason. Dang, where is it, bro? Let me just search it up real quick. Carmania. All right. Yep, right here. All right. So let's grab it real quick. All right. Also, let me see this real quick. Let's see what this is talking about. Oh, so they changed it a little bit. All right, but this is it right here. All right, but let's get into this. Let's get into the scriptures real quick. All right, this is Second Esdras, the 15th chapter, starting at the 28th verse. All right, this is Esdras. All right, received the vision of World War III. All right, behold, a horrible vision. That vision is talking about World War III. All right, and the appearance thereof from the east, because that's where it's going to start. All right, in the Middle East. All right, it says, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, talking about the Ishmaelites. All right, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Yeah, because they're going to be destroyed. They're going to be carried as the wind upon earth. All right, it says also the Carmanians. All right, the Carmanians, all right, are talking about the Iranians. All right, they play a major part in biblical prophecy. All right, in this third world war. All right, it says also the Carmanians raging in wrath. The Carmanians are the Iranians. All right, also the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood. All right, and with great power shall they come. Yeah, Iran's going to come with that great power, man. All right, Iran's going to come with very great power. All right, it says, and join battle with them. Who are they going to join battle with? With Russia. All right, because when you go to Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, it tells you that Iran, which is known as Persia, all right, which is known as Persia, all right, in the scriptures, all right, because before Iran was known as Iran, it was known as Persia, all right. It wasn't until 1935 when Persia changed its name to Iran, all right. It says, it says that Persia going to be with Russia. All right, going to join going to be allies with Russia, man. All right. It says also the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them with Russia, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians, which is talking about America. It's not talking about the actual land of Assyria. The land of Assyrians is talking about America, man. All right. So it says also the Carmanians, all right, which is Iran. So let's prove that this is Iran, all right? So I got Encyclopedia Iranica. All right, then it says Carmania, all right, which is the Carmanians, as we're reading right here. Also the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Syrians. So let's prove that these Carmanians is talking about the Iranians, all right? So you got Encyclopedia Iranica, all right, Carmania, all right, ancient region east of the Fars province, approximately equivalent to modern Kermane, the Old Persian, all right, the Old Persian, all right. Iran is Persia, all right. Persia wasn't known, Iran wasn't known as Iran until 1935, all right. Persia changed its name to Iran in 1935, all right. Persia is talking about Iran, all right. Iran in the Bible is known as Persia, man, all right. And it tells you in Ezekiel the 38th chapter that Persia going to be with Gog, which is Russia, all right, to destroy America, to destroy Israel, all right, the land of unwalled villages, all right, which is, all right. So let's it says Carmania, region east of East Far province, approximately equivalent to modern Kermane, the Old Persian form, all right, rendered as Elamite, because that's who they really are. That's who the Persians really are. They're Elamites, all right. They descend from Elam, all right. They're Elamites. So are the Indians. The East Indians are Elamites, man, all right. They're the same people, all right. The Old Persian form, all right. So let's prove, because it wasn't let's get it. When did Persia become Iran? All right. 1935, all right. In 1935, the Persian government changed the name of the country from Persia to Iran, all right. So when you read that, Carmania is the Old Persian form, Carmania, rendered as Elamite, all right. They're Elamites, all right, the Persians, all right. And it says Persian to Iran, all right, in 1935, all right. So the Iranians are Persians, man, all right. So when we read the scriptures, it says also the Carmanians. Now we know that those are the Iranians. It says also the Carmanians raging in wrath, all right. Yeah, they're gonna be raging in wrath, all right. Shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, with Russia, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians, which is talking about America, man. All right, they're going to be with Russia to destroy America. All right, same thing with China, North Korea. They're all going to be with Russia to destroy America, man. All right, all right. So let's go back to this article. So that's why, all right. It says right here, the footage was aired during an interview of Defense Minister Aziz Nasir Zadeh, who warned if war is initiated by the U.S. or Israel, Iran will strike their interests, bases, and forces wherever they are and whenever necessary. All right, so they got that war spirit, man. All right, because it's prophecy, man. That's the Lord that's giving them that war spirit to fulfill His word, to fulfill His will, man. All right. All right. It says the announcement followed a recent missile strike by Yemen's Houthi rebels on Israeli territory. All right. Prompting Israel to vow retaliation against Iranian-backed groups. Let's read that again. It says the announcement followed a recent missile strike by Yemen's Houthi rebels on Israeli territory, prompting Israel to vow retaliation against Iranian-backed groups. It also coincided with the suspension of U.S.-Iran nuclear talks. All right. Newsweek has reached out to the State Department as well as the foreign ministries of Iran and Israel for comment. All right. It says the timing of Iran's missile reveal highlights. All right. The timing of Iran's missile reveal highlights Tehran's strategy of military signaling in a response to growing international pressure. All right. As U.S. President Donald Trump continues to threaten strikes unless a nuclear deal is reached, Iran is reinforcing its regional posture through advanced missile development. All right, yeah, all right, because they going, like the scripture say, like we read, they gonna come through they gonna come through raging in wrath. All right, let's read it again. It says, also the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come. Whew. All right. It says Iran is reinforcing its regional posture through advanced missile development. All right, with diplomatic channels faltering, these actions raise the specter of broader conflict. All right, the missile called Qasim Bazir, all right, is solid fueled and was most recently tested on April 17th, according to state media. All right, Nazir Zadeh, all right, said it includes enhancements in maneuverability and guidance systems, allowing it to invade defenses. Woo. All right, Iranian outlets claim it has a range of 1,200 kilometers, which is a bit over 700 miles, which is close to 800 miles. All right, Iranian outlets claim it has a range of 1,200 kilometers and can strike targets with pinpoint accuracy without using GPS. All right, Tehran developed its ballistic program in response to Iraqi Scud attacks during the Iran-Iraq war and as a result of long-standing arms embargoes that have limited access to modern defense technology. All right, and now guys, it has a video here. Missile test. All right, Iran's latest solid-fueled ballistic missile Qasim Bazir, all right, enjoys higher maneuverability, can evade interception. All right. Let's continue reading. It says the missile announcement came shortly after Houthi launched strike from Yemen landed near Israel's Ben Gurion airport. You see how the elites are doing this, man? The elites are doing this, man. All right, because you got to understand, all right, kings of the nations, whether it be presidents, prime ministers, all right, ayatollahs, all right, they're all getting their strings pulled, man. All right, to start a conflict, to bring in this final third world war, which is going to be a war to end all wars. All right, this is going to be the last war before there's peace on Earth. All right, before there's no more wars on Earth, because this is good. This World War III is the time when Yahweh Shai is going to crack that sky when these missiles are hitting this Earth, man. All right, the missile announcement came shortly after a Houthi launched strike from Yemen landed near Israel's Ben Gurion airport. All right, although the Houthis claim responsibility, Israeli officials accuse Iran of orchestrating the attack through its regional proxies. You see, all right, they because they getting their string pulls to just keep tensions and conflict going, man. All right, it says although the Houthis claim responsibility, Israeli officials accused Iran of orchestrating the attack through its regional proxies. All right, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu vowed severe retaliation against both the Houthis and their Iranian backers. And according to prophecy, Israel is going to be the main reason why America is joined in this third world war. All right, it tells you that in the book of Jeremiah. The least of the flock shall draw them out. The least of the flock is talking about Israel. They're going to draw Babylon out, which is America, into this third world war. All right, because Israel is allies with America. All right, it says Nazir Zadeh, all right, rejected the accusations. All right, insisting that Tehran does not control Houthi decisions. All right, let's read that again. Nazir Zadeh rejected the accusations, insisting that Tehran does not control Houthi decisions. He warned, however, that any military action against Iran would prompt retaliation against, would prompt retaliatory strikes on U.S. and Israeli targets. Woo! All right. So things are being amped up, bro. We ain't got too much longer, man. The mark of the beast is about to be here. All right, this is how we know the mark of the beast is right around the corner, because the nuclear missiles are about to fly. All right, that's why, you know, Trump putting all these tariffs on China, all right, and whatever. All right, you know, that's going to collapse the economy, man. All right, systematically collapsing the economy, because you got to understand, President Donald Trump is just a puppet. All presidents have always been a puppet for the wicked elite banking families. They're all controlled, man. All right. It says planned nuclear talks set for May 3rd in Rome were abruptly postponed, reportedly at the request of Oman's foreign minister, who is mediating the dialogue. All right, Trump has renewed warnings of U.S. airstrikes on Iranian nuclear infrastructure if no deal is reached. Iran maintains that its nuclear program is for commercial purposes only. All right. It says, yeah, we already read this. I'll read it again. It says, if war is initiated by the U.S. or Israel, Iran will strike their interests, bases, and forces wherever they are and whenever necessary. That is said by Iranian Defense Minister Aziz Nazar Zadeh. All right. Benjamin Netanyahu said Israel will respond to Houthi attack against our main airport and at a time, a place of our choosing to the Iranian terror masters. All right. So just to give you a heads up of what's going on in the world, man. So you're not living under a rock, man. All right. You know, people have no idea. People are just walking zombies out here, man. Not knowing what's happening, what's going on around them. They have no idea what time they're living in. You know, we're living in beautiful times, beautiful and dangerous times, man. Beautiful times, man. Prophecies jumping out the scriptures like crazy, man. All right, them nuclear, what the true prophets and the true servants of the Lord have been teaching you, man, been telling you, been prophesying, is finally coming to pass, man. Then shall they know a prophet has been among them, man. World War III is coming. America's going to be destroyed. All right. The mark of the beast is coming, which is the RFID microchip. This is everything that the true prophets of the Lord are telling you, man. All right. This is everything that they're prophesying, man. All right. Martial law is coming. Civil war and race war is coming. All right. Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Ratazah, I am one of the Lord's chosen men, man. All right. So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Ratazah, this lesson was edifying. All right. So, just giving you a heads up. All right. What's going on in the world? All right. Things are happening, man. Yahweh Shai about to crack that sky, man. All right. So with that being said, I want to say call Halalyum Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai Bahashim Rakah Quitash. All right. And then to the next one, Shalom, Shalom.